You hear it everywhere, right? Boardrooms, news headlines, coffee shops. Everyone is talking about AI ethics. And as these systems get more and more powerful, companies are scrambling to prove they're on the right side of things. But what if that big push for responsible AI is really just an illusion? Okay, let's get into it.
So, what's the big solution we're being sold? Well, it's people. Companies are pouring money into hiring armies of ethicists, creating new oversight teams, and building entire departments. It's a very public, very loud declaration that, hey, don't worry, we're taking this seriously, we're being accountable.
And that right there is the million-dollar question we're tackling in this explainer. Are all these new hires and committees actually fixing the deep-seated problems? Or are we all just watching some really, really expensive corporate theater? First, let's just get a sense of the scale here. This isn't just a trend. We are literally watching the birth of a brand new industry, and it's all built around one single, very powerful word: trust. I mean, just look at some of these job titles. Trust authenticator, fairness engineer. A few years ago, these jobs didn't even exist. Now they sound incredibly important, don't they? It's like a new gold rush for what the source material calls trust-centered roles. But here's the uncomfortable idea at the center of all this. What if these very impressive, very serious-sounding jobs are more about performing trust than actually creating it? What if it's all just part of the show? And that quote just nails it. It's a sleight of hand, like a magic trick. The goal is to get us all to look over here at the shiny new ethics team, so we don't pay attention to what's happening backstage, where the potentially harmful systems are actually being built. So you see, these roles kind of have two purposes. On the one hand, you have the promise, and let's be clear, a lot of the people in these jobs are trying to do really important work. But then there's the performance. And the danger is that their very presence acts as a kind of smokescreen, giving a stamp of legitimacy to the very systems that are causing problems to begin with. Wow, that's a pretty sharp way to put it, isn't it? It gets right to the heart of the potential hypocrisy. The same companies that built the confusing, often biased systems are now hiring people to manage the fire. It forces you to ask the real questions. Who started that fire? Who trained the model? Who pushed deploy? And who ultimately profits from all this? And what this performance does so brilliantly is diffuse responsibility. It works like this. An AI system causes harm, but instead of looking at the leaders who funded it and pushed it out the door, all eyes turn to the bias detection specialist. The focus on that one person obscures the much bigger systemic issues. And in the end, the executives who made the critical calls are completely insulated. And this all leads us to a much deeper and, frankly, more uncomfortable place. We love that new buzzword, right? AI hallucinating. It sounds like a quirky machine error. But what if the AI isn't the problem? What if the problem is that it's operating inside our own broken, hallucinating systems? Just think about it. We tell an AI to make fair lending decisions and plug it into a financial world often designed for maximum profit extraction. We ask it to optimize patient care inside a healthcare system that's driven by profit motives. We task it with public safety inside a justice system that already has deep systemic inequalities. The AI isn't broken. It's a perfect mirror. It's just automating the logic of the world we've already built. The source material uses this fantastic term, corporate liturgy. It's perfect. It describes all these actions, hiring the ethicist, publishing the big report, as rituals. They're ceremonies designed to make everyone feel like there's a moral order, that someone is accountable. But all the while, the real power structures, the things that actually need to change, stay hidden and untouched. So, is it all hopeless? Are these ethicists just doomed to be props in a play? Well, not necessarily. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because the people in these roles, they have a choice to make. They're standing at a crossroads with two paths. They can be the pawn, the person who just checks the boxes, confuses compliance with real integrity, and becomes another part of that corporate liturgy. Or they can be the prophet, the person who uses their insider access to ask the really hard questions, to expose the hidden problems. From this point of view, their true power isn't just to patch the code. It's to bear witness to why the system is broken in the first place. Okay, so what's the way out of this? If the current approach is just theater, how do we get to something real? How do we stop performing trust and start actually building it on solid principles? Well, the path forward isn't about creating another department to manage mistrust. It's about rebuilding the very conditions for trust from the ground up. And that means real accountability has to start at the top, with leadership, not with a specialized role down the hall. It means we have to chase actual integrity, not just check off a compliance box. And maybe most importantly, we have to recognize that you can't engineer trust with a fancy job title. It has to be earned. And earning it means fixing our institutions, not just the AI that holds a mirror up to them. Which leaves us with this final, really provocative question. We're so focused on the idea of AI hallucinating when it gets things wrong. But maybe the AI isn't the one that's confused. Maybe it's just a perfectly clear mirror, showing us all the biases, the flaws, and the silent hallucinations that we've already been living with for years. And perhaps the real challenge isn't fixing the AI, but finally waking up from our own.